Top New Zealand fashion designer Adrian Winckelmann is under the spotlight of the Commerce Commission, which is looking into whether she is representing her garments correctly. A Commerce Commission spokeswoman has confirmed the market watchdog is assessing evidence provided by an NBR investigation, suggesting the designer's Auckland store may have marketed some clothes as made in New Zealand when they were in fact made overseas. The allegations first arose from a former Adrian Winckelmann staffer whose husband provided photos of stock from the AW catalogue alongside images of the European designer's clothes as evidence of similarities between clothing sold by European designers and items appearing in the AW catalogue. Although the Commission had decided not to investigate those allegations further, a spokeswoman said in light of new evidence provided by NBR of photos of Italy and New Zealand product origin labels, it will be referring the matter for further assessment. NBR rich lister Eric Watson and his Cullen Group must pay over $112 million to Inland Revenue after the High Court in Auckland found he had avoided tax when he moved from Auckland to London in 2002. Mr Watson restructured his business affairs later that year as he left New Zealand, but in his judgment, Justice Matthew Palmer said it was tax avoidance arrangement. Cullen Group is therefore liable for the $51.5 million of tax assessed by the IRD, which, when $60.5 million use of money interest is added, totals $112 million. Penalties, which are as yet unquantified, also have to be added on. In a statement to NBR, a Cullen Group spokesperson says the High Court didn't find that it had an actual plan to avoid tax. Rather, the court found that was the consequence of the structure adopted to facilitate Mr Watson's relocation to the UK. Cullen is considering the judgment and all its options, which includes an appeal which must be filed within 20 working days of the decision. Mr Watson wouldn't comment personally. New Zealand's largest insurer, IAG, has moved to reassure the Wellington market that it's committed to insuring homes and contents, although the company has been careful to say it would maintain a prudent approach to insurance in the capital. Earlier, IAG, which has a 45% share of the insurance market in Wellington, confirmed to NBR that it had placed restrictions on new business or requests to increase existing cover due to higher level of seismic risk. This approach was criticised by Earthquake Commission Minister Megan Woods, who was concerned that she had assurances that the private insurance market would pick up the contents insurance EQC is no longer providing.
Pretty high up on the perplexion scale on that one, that there was a submission from the Insurance Council of New Zealand.
Have you asked for a please explain?
That is certainly something that was signalled that we want to talk about in the very near future, that we were given reassurances that this was a risk that could be picked up by the private insurance market, so I want to know exactly what the situation. Our decision to remove contents insurance from the EQC legislation, given that reassurance, was the right one.
Some commenters this week have said they would like to see the EQC have more powers and take more of a reinsurer role, something Ms Woods seemed open to. The Minister is meeting international reinsurers where she'll be learning about their stance on risk in the world and will be reassuring them EQC will continue to be a buffer for local insurers. The content war between Spark and Sky to win sports fan subscriptions is underway, with Spark rolling out its sports offering. The much-anticipated beta launch of Spark Sport appears to have gone smoothly, adding pressure to an already volatile Sky TV. The platform is available as an app on selected Apple and Android devices and all popular web browsers. Spark Sport will be priced at $19.99 a month with no long-term contract, but the pricing will differ for the Rugby World Cup and will be announced next month.
When we looked around at the differences between the entertainment market and the sport market, sports markets have typically still been local. They're typically still in most markets dominated by local players, as against entertainment, which is a global marketplace where you're bidding for content against the likes of Netflix and Apple are talking about entering this category soon. So that was one. We thought that this was one that played well for a local player. And secondly, when we looked at the level of disruption that's happened on the entertainment side of things with the likes of Lightbox and Netflix, we felt that hadn't yet happened in sport. So it looked like an opportunity of really disrupting an existing market.
Two ticketing entrepreneurs have joined forces and merged their companies to form a new ticketing company with global ambitions. Zal Kotchu, who founded event ticketing and analytics platform Passphere 2 years ago, is joint chief executive with iTicket founder Reese Preston in the new company Passphere Group. The group has a next-generation booking and analytics platform that suits any form of event or transaction that requires booking to attend. It will integrate iTicket's ticketing brand with an offer for larger customers, such as museums or art galleries, to white label the technology on their own websites.
So we're trying to take the ego out of ticketing. For a user, we want to bring back the personality, and for the organisations, we want to give them more data and flexibility on what they do. But the secret sauce in all of this is our API. So it's what we give to developers and organisations globally that allow them to build their own ticketing solutions, and creating that as an open source platform for them to build on. That's going to be what makes us really rich.
I spoke to Craig's investment partners Mark Lister about the markets this week.
Oh, look, it's been a mixed bag when you look across the world. The US markets had quite a strong week. The New Zealand market has gone a little bit sideways. We've been pretty flat. And in the UK, it's been somewhat of a roller coaster. The market's actually done okay, but the pound has been exceptionally volatile. The British pound obviously reacting to all of the drama around Brexit. So we've had a couple of very strong days and then a couple of very weak days as people sort of try and follow that story. And it's pretty difficult because things are moving very quickly in that space.
And looking to the weekend, who might be takers for a new commercial development site on offer in Auckland? Find that out on Saturday. So for more on that and other stories, head to nbr.co.nz and have a great weekend.